What's up guys, it's Eric here. We are doing another VOD review, and today we're doing a Setsuko VOD review. It's been a while since we've VOD reviewed Setsuko, and he has reclaimed rank 1 in North America. Dish Soap's been popping for a while, but finally Setsuko has brought it back. He's been playing out of his mind here. If I pop my camera off, you can see his scores in just this stream. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. I don't know how many bot fours he had across the stream, but I don't think it was a high number by any means. But yeah, it's absolutely clicked. I feel like this set is just like the perfect set for Setsuko. Like almost every game he's going fast 8, fast 9, just playing for cap legendary boards. That is just the Setsuko style to a T. So I think that makes a lot of sense why he's doing so well right now. But yeah, I just wanted to check out what Setsuko is doing differently because I really haven't watched too much of his stream. Pick up like a Corky pair here potentially. I feel like we'd have to. Low interest rates, bounty hunters don't really like these augments too much, especially compared to stationary support, which is one of the best gold augments in the game. So I feel like you just have to default stationary. Inspiring epitaph's good, but kind of weak early. So I imagine it's stationary here. Just this is one of the almost like auto pick type augments. All right, interesting spot here. What do we go for as far as our board? You can pick up the Evelyn, play like Evelyn Lilia. You don't quite have. Oh no, you do. You do quite have Superfan. So is it just a Superfan setup? Evelyn, Lilia, Nar plus Kennen. I would have to expect that. And then your slams, like ideally you want to make a Shojin slam, but in this position that we're playing around Evelyn, I find Hodge slam really strong, even though you're already getting a Hodge. I don't know. Maybe it is just Shojin. Yeah, curious to see what he does here. I feel like you probably play towards that, but we'll see. I like that is the opener, and yeah, he does get this in. So it's gonna take him a sec to finish his board here. Is this potentially yeah steadfast heart? I think insane item here, and then ooh, this component's a little bit awkward, but he's just gonna pick up the bow. Yeah, so he opts for the steadfast heart. I think that makes a lot of sense. Just one of the best items in the game right now, and I assume he's gonna fix his positioning this round. Yeah, but yeah, decent board. I was thinking about crowd diver over Superfan here. I would think it's Superfan here, but I mean Crowd Diver is definitely not bad by any means. And we got the yeah, and he's just gonna slam Shojin here. Another very good slam. So Shojin Hodge, two really flex, really good items. These can like the Hodge can go on a Kali, the Shojin can go on any backline AP carry, or the Hodge can even go on just any backline unit if you really want to. Ideally, it's good on like sort of like a unit that's going to make use of the healing, but completely fine. Oh, wait, the Hodge isn't real. Duh. Ooh, he's going to pivot, actually. He's going to pivot into this Heartsteel board. Pivot out of this board that he had before, like the kind of strong board. I was watching Prestivan stream today, and he said something like Setsuko said that like 5 Heartsteel, though I don't know how we're going to get to 5 Heartsteel, but 5 Heartsteel on stage 3 is insanely strong and stuff like that. I don't know. It was a very sketchy game out of Prestivan that I watched earlier today, but he did, I believe, end up top 4ing, just barely. We have Bow left open here. I mean, I don't know. You go Static Shiv, you go Gwinsu. You could go our Rapid Fire Cannon, which is now red buff. As far as an Eve item, I don't think red buff's amazing. But I mean, I have to imagine this item's going to go on Eve if we're going to try to play the game a little bit. Now we can get Lilia back in, so he at least has kind of a board. But yeah, I feel like this is just how Setsuko plays every single game, is he just slams, slam, play for as strong board as possible, and ideally win streak into like a fast 8, fast 9 kind of setup. Though this game, he pivoted into Heartsteel, so he's not going to get that win streak, but he is still going to kill a lot of units. So it's an interesting way of playing Heartsteel, because usually when I play Heartsteel, I'm like actively looking to loss streak, even though, like I'm trying to kill units. But Setsuko, he's just playing his strongest board here. He's like leveling to 5 and just like almost playing for win streak. Ooh, that would be interesting to sell the Eve here. Pick up the Olaf here. I wouldn't expect that this is good, but it's an interesting idea. Yeah, I don't really like it, but I don't know. You made me think for a second there. But yeah, I mean, I think this is just going to be the board for a little while. If we get a better chosen on 3-3, then maybe the Eve can come out. I don't imagine that we're gonna roll at 3-2, but maybe we do. I guess we'll see. Another Yone here, which could be Yone too. I don't know. I think this board actually fits together really well. The Eve plus the Lilia just fits actually beautifully into Heartsteel with the Crowd Diver and KDA Sentinel. It's just like, what do you add here? Like you can add Rapid Fire, but it really doesn't do too much. So yeah, curious to see what he ends up actually wanting to put in here. Nash's Tooths, I would say just another like solid slam. Echo, usually a decent unit to get in here. He is potentially looking at pivoting out of Eve at this point. So he's gonna open sell this Eve, and move items. Okay, so Steadfast Heart here, and then like if you want to put items on anyone, they have to go into Aphelios here. I mean, this is actually a really weak player that he's gonna end up beating here, so he actually gets to keep his 2 streak here, which is kind of wild. And then yeah, sell the Nar to make 40. So he's just looking for a better chosen to play around here. I mean, Healing Herbs I don't think is necessarily a bad augment. We got 6 gold here. Recon Bob I don't think does much here. Tiny Titans here. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna hit on Healing Orbs, which I think the stats actually do say Healing Orbs is quite bad, then Tiny Titans is a fine augment. Also allows you to greed much harder, which I assume is what Setsuko is gonna do here. Play more for like Lost Streak style, which is gonna be really cool because I've been playing a bit of Lost Streak my last few games just because like you don't have a great opener. Sometimes you have to play Lost Streak. And I'm really curious to see how Setsuko plays around it because Setsuko is not someone who I think of as traditionally like a Lost Streak player. But so far he's already played like a really nice Lost Streak game where he's, he lost those early fights but slammed items so that he was, not losing really hard. Kales is chosen in the shop, generally not an amazing chosen. He's even just going to hold on to Jax here. Yeah, I don't know about the Jax. The Lulu seems decent. Yeah, you really just need someone to hold these items. The problem is that like we slammed the items onto Aphelios, so now like they have to stay on Aphelios for the near future until we get either another Heartsteel or, well, actually, yeah, just that until we get another Heartsteel. Which, if you find like Set or something, like he's holding onto the Jax for the potential like Set, then I think that makes sense. Because right, we just have Yone plus Casante plus Aphelios right now. Looking really hard this spat, but I mean he's with the Tiny Titans, last pick. I doubt that he's gonna get this. He has the belt. He has those Nash's Tooth components open right now. He's gonna go for glove here. Glove LW and play for AD, or it could be guard breaker. Okay, and we do get in the Senna, and we just level up because it's basically free. I mean, the Senna fits really well into the board, right? It's true damage and it's rapid fire, so at least we have some nice synergies in, and then you just get the Zed in for a crowd diver, but still we have no, the big issue for us right now is that we have no headliner on our board. We're just sitting here with no headliner, and like, oh, I mean, like once again, like Vex, completely solid holder of AP items. Like if you could just move these items over to Vex, you'd be very pleased. But the problem is just you can't sell the Aphelios. You have to wait until you cash out here, and then you can potentially look at. He is going to cash next round, so maybe we're going to do a full board pivot on like 4-1 or 4-2. Depending on how much gold we get here, we might be able to just 4-2 it. We're not like super rich here though. If we lose this fight and get gold from our Heartsteel, then we can probably 4-2 it. Wow, what a good loss. Oh my god, 79 HP here. Obviously he took Tiny Titans, so he's a little higher than he normally would be, but still 79 HP, an Akali and an Ezreal. I mean, the Akali can potentially come in. We don't really have great items for her right now. Just gonna get the Ezreal in so we can finally have someone decent hold these Heartsteel items. And yeah, our bench is pretty expensive. Imagine if we got like blank slate here, though. I guess, I don't know, after selling those guys, our bench is not that expensive. But yeah, I mean, this looks like with that loss streak there, this looks like it's gonna be a 4-2. Oh, he is gonna roll. Okay, so it's not gonna be quite the 4-2. He's gonna roll a little bit on 7. Rolled just once there, and he's really just trying to figure out what board he's actually playing. Gonna make TG here. Puts down sword there, but we don't really have a good sword item to make on this position. I guess it could be GS, but then our carry is gonna be very low damage. And we already have red buff, so you don't want to make Morello. See, these items actually end up being pretty awkward. Yeah, I imagine we're gonna 4-2 a crash test dummies. Obviously amazing here. We still don't have our chosen unit, so let's roll a bit. We find Jhin, and we actually do have a mana item for Jhin, so this might actually be the spot for it, right? And oh my god, so he does take the set here. It's not Heartsteel set, it's Monster set, but he actually pivots back into 5 Heartsteel here. But that's actually so sick. Just gonna get the Ezreal in for big shot, and then red buff, GS over here, and then yeah, this is gonna be our Jhin setup. And so we're gonna stabilize around Jhin 1 on 8 with the crash test dummies with a mana item. I feel like this Jhin unit, he's so hit or miss. depending on the setup you have for him. If you have a good setup for him, and it looks like Setsuko does here, mana item plus just damage here, then he can be an absolute monster. But the opposite is also true. If you do not have a good setup for him, this unit is just absolute garbage. So, I mean, nice on Setsuko to recognize he has a good spot for it. The Shojin, just an incredibly flexible item, and he hits the Jin, and boom, we have Jin items. And also, I think this is an incredible call to note that you can like stabilize your board on this. I think this is the one thing that I'm like trying to figure out the most this set. And I think it's the hardest thing in this set is like seeing spots like this where you can actually stabilize on 8 and then push 9. Because if he can go 9 in this spot, which he can now, that means that he can cap out way, way higher. And instead of playing for like a 5th or a 6th, he's playing for like, you know, a top 3 or something like that. So he's belt open right now, right? I assume you just want to finish out your tank items like a Warmogs. He's going to grab Kane with sword here. Holy. I guess just for the Kane, you know, just a much better Heartsteel. I would... Wow, okay. So yeah, he just wants Kane for Kane, and like, I don't know, are we going to Gunblade Kane or something? I'm not really sure. Because yeah, I feel like you would really, really want to finish out that Warmogs onto Blitzcrank and then like eventually your tank. But maybe the idea is that with Crash Test dummies plus the dummy, like we actually just have enough frontline. We don't need to worry about it too much. Kane's also utility, and he makes really good usage of this this Banshees. You know, him not getting CC'd on frontline is really nice. But yeah, like as you can see, Jin getting these turrets so quickly is like insanely important. If he didn't have this Shojin here, this Jin would be doing absolutely nothing. Like, it would take him forever to get to max stacks, but oh my god, 12k damage out of a Jin 1. That is so insane. Gets his cash out here. It's Randuin's Omen. Oh my god. That's an incredible cash out here. I mean, that's just what happens when you play this this late game Heartsteel. I would put that on like Cassante or something. He's just gonna put it there. It's a little bit awkward, right? Your positioning, because you know, like you're gonna position for this Kane and you're like, you need a position for the Randuins and you need a position for the Banshees, but they're on different units. This is a really rough fight against the Akali Karthus. Actually, kind of nice that we fought slightly weaker opponents this last couple of rounds. Because, you know, like, all I'm saying is, I've had some games where I have like an okay stage 4 board and then I fight into Akali Karthus, and they just one-shot my carry both times. Like, our board does horrible into Akali Karthus because our backline is just so squishy. Even if we put Jin in the middle, they're just going to like one-shot our Aphelios, one-shot our Ezreal, and then walk over to him. So, pretty fortunate that we actually didn't fight those guys at all. Sunfire here, Adapticone maybe. What are other options? I mean, let's actually look at the item. He takes Belt here. Which, I mean, like, Warmog's Gargoyle is, like, amazing from... Oh, no, we already have red buff, so we don't need Sunfire, so it's just Warmog's Gargoyles, probably. I think Warmog's Gargoyle, Steadfast Harden is an amazing combination of items. Curious to see if Setsuko goes for it here, or if he wants to go for, like, Protector's Vow or something like that. I think Gargoyles is great here, but, yeah, Protector's Vow is definitely, I feel like, a more traditional setup. All I know is... Ooh, really? I mean, I guess we do have the Randuins, so I guess you don't actually need Gargoyle, because you already kind of have Gargoyle in the fact that you have Randuins. Have to imagine we're leveling next round. We're 40 HP, and our board was fine for stage 4, but it's certainly going to fall off stage 5. So we do kind of need to pivot into something better, find a really, really strong Chosen, something better than this set. I mean, there's no way he can... Yeah, like, you can't really greed out this last Heartsteel cash out. So we're going to roll a bit. Ideally, we find a 5-cost Chosen to put in. The question of when to stop is, once again, very, very difficult. He finds Jin in, like, almost the last possible roll. And now we have Jin in here. Yeah, I mean, Jin's a great find here. Especially with the Blitzcrank 2 already, you just want a backline Chosen in this spot. Obviously, something like a Ziggs would have been amazing as well. Even something like a Sona maybe would have been fine. Like, this item setup is actually giga flex. You can just put these 3 items on anyone. So actually, like, I feel like this is just a huge, huge part of this set is, like, building these, like, really, really strong flexible items, like Heartsteel, or it's like Steadfast Heart, whatever it's called, is just an amazing tank item on anyone. He does actually go for the Reforge here, and hits Black Cleaver. I mean, we have no Shred, right? So Black Cleaver is not bad. But yeah, it just has to go on Ezreal, which is a little bit sad. But yeah, I mean, the Black Cleaver is not bad. I'm surprised he even wanted to Reforge there, but maybe his idea is that he needed some kind of damage item. But, like, the chance that you miss there is pretty low. This is a really, really scary game still, though. Even though he's put together a beautiful board, this Ally would stabilize him so hard, but he can't get that. I assume... Okay, we're going to go for the GS. Yeah, we go for another Ezreal item. We have enough frontline. We just need to, like, kill the units. And he still has the 5 Heartsteel in, right? Oh my god. So he's going to get his cash out. This round, he gets Radiant red buff. He has no way of getting it onto the Jin. Oh no. What are you supposed to do here? Yeah, and we can start pivoting out of these Heartsteel units because they're just kind of useless. We're gonna make sure that our backline doesn't get CC'd. This is so obnoxious, actually, because like you could reforge the items off the Jin. The problem being that and he reforges the Radiant Red buff and finds Radiant BT. That's so smart. Yeah, like you can actually play around this Radiant Red buff. It's a solid Jin item for sure, but you can't play around it. Moves the Radiant BT over to Alawi to make her live longer, and now the board is really cooking. 14 HP. If he botched the transition here, he might have actually just died that round. He's thinking about a second reforge because this BT is not great. And we can hit Zig's item here, or we can hit Tank item here. I think you do go for it. What did we hit? Radiant Declaw? Oh my god. If there's like any AP in this lobby, that's really nice. And also the Sunder, wait. That's so weird. We reforged BT, Radiant BT, into Declaw, Radiant Declaw. Are the reforges like seeded like that? Like if you reforge a normal item and a Radiant item, will it always reforge into the same item, normal and radiant? Because like the chance of that happening, I think, is really low, right? For it to roll Radiant BT and then roll the exact same item. I wonder if that's true, actually. Any knowers in YouTube chat? Let me know if that's actually the case. If anyone else has reforged that before, a normal item and a radiant item that's the same like type of item, because that's kind of crazy if that is true. But like I could actually see that being true. Front guard here, just decent frontline item. We, at this point, actually are just looking for more frontline. Also, there just wasn't a really good Ziggs item there. I assume if there was like a Shojin or something, we could go for it. Also, just the Ziggs unit, I'm pretty sure, is this synergyless Ziggs? Yeah, it's just Hyper Pop. It's not like we even have like Bard Lucian in for Jazz or anything. You know, it's just playing around Ziggs, which is a very strong unit. We're going to lock in the top 4 here. There's the Bard like I was talking about. We're playing for 4 Big Shot right now. We don't necessarily have to. I imagine if we find a Lucian, we'll just pivot into we'll just pivot into Jazz here. Also, I didn't even realize, but we still actually have Heartsteel in. I mean, obviously you're gonna keep Kayn in, but he's still keeping the Cassante in, and like obviously the Ezreal's gonna stay in for a while. But yeah, he's just keeping the Cassante in for another Heartsteel cash out just to make himself even stronger, which is actually just like Giga Chad gameplay. Heartsteel in at stage 6, 90 stacks. And then he's cashing out this round. Got, I mean, just some gold. That's pretty much garbage. We should probably get the Cassante out now. Yeah, which we're just gonna cut for this. Don't have anything 2-starred yet. We could make that pivot that I'm talking about, but it's a good bit weaker. I would think for now, until you can find like a Lucian 2 or something. The downside is that like, yeah, like we don't really want a big bench. If we have a big bench, it's actually like really tough. He knows that he's just gonna win this fight. He's gonna lock the Lucian. Potentially look for, oh my god, Jazz spat on Carousel, and it's Yorick too. Oh my god, that's gross. I mean, this is just the perfect pickup. I assume we're gonna pivot into the Jazz board now. Maybe we can get Lucian in later. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's actually just still gonna play this for Big Shot version of the board. Because he can just get MF in. So yeah, I mean, this looks good. Like Ezreal for Lucian is much weaker, and now that he has the MF, like he can just play for this. And then yeah, you just sell the Lucian at this point. Like I don't see how we're actually fitting him onto our board. Wow, close fight, our Jhin. Okay, maybe not that close of a fight, but for a second I thought Jhin was gonna get one shot, and then the entire board just ended up dying. So yeah, I mean, you roll here because it's the last. Actually, it's not even the last fight. Sea Nerds is 50 HP, so it's we're actually a while away from the end potentially. But yeah, this is just a really nice board. You can potentially, like I've seen a lot of people play around like Set instead of the Zac, so that you get in another synergy. You get Mosher in for the York. I don't know if he's actually seen a Set. I don't remember seeing one since, you know, like we had our Set a while ago, but I wonder if he would make that pivot, because like Set 1 versus Zac 2, obviously the Set is a much weaker unit, but the upside is that you get another whole synergy in, and it's like Mosher for your York, which is actually like really nice. But outside of that, I would say this is a pretty standard just cap 9 board, playing around Jhin and Ezreal, which are sort of like the flex slots. Sometimes you can play around like Lucian plus other things. But yeah, I would say just like a very traditional 9 board, but like really sick how he got to it actually. Just Ziggs item here. Yep, Adaptive Helm looks really good. I mean, I doubt Xehanarts can cap out high enough to actually end up winning this game, but maybe. I mean, there's just no way. He's stuck on level 9. I mean, so Setsuko, I guess, but like he's so low gold, and he's so far from all of these upgrades, right? Setsuko already has all these 2-star 5+ on his board. Xehanarts is, you know, like 1-star Alawi, and I mean, I think he'll be pretty happy with a random top 2 against this insanely cap board from Setsuko with a million Heartsteel cash outs. Like, I mean, yeah, how can you ask for more than a top 2 here? So yeah, final fight here. Have to imagine that unless Setsuko DCs and like Riot Games forces him to FF here, he can't lose this fight. But we'll watch it because it's fun. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. Really, really sick game from Setsuko, showing the power of Lost Streak. Also, just another first on that performance he started this day. Yeah, 240 LP. He's out after like 7. After this is 8 games. After 8 games, he climbs 130 or 230 LP. Like, oh, what a beast. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.